think I just sprained my ankle. Or maybe it was my calf I just tore, I'm not sure. But the thing is, you guys, oh, all right. Now when I got an injury or a strain or a sprain or a pull, you gotta use the R.I.C.E treatment. Not the Jerry Rice or Uncle Ben's rice, just the R.I.C.E treatment. It stands for rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Oh. Now the rest, when you got an injury, you gotta rest it. You pull it, ankle or anything, you can't be on it too long. You don't want to hurt yourself even more and tear up, damage more muscles or tendons or anything else that you have going on. It's just gonna make it worse for you. And I know you're all gung-ho to get back in the gym and get yourself back in shape, but take a little rest off of it. That rest time is good for you to recover that muscle, those tendons and everything else. Also, you can try to take a little time to fix some of the other things that are not going right in the program, like your meals, or getting enough calories, or your mindset. Now, getting hurt is definitely a big setback in getting in your goal, and it can definitely mess up your mindset because, damn it, I can't make it to the gym. But you can make it to the gym. You just have to figure different things to do. Stay off of that leg if it's hurting. Give it a little rest. It'll recover and come back stronger than before. I for ice. Now, we need to make sure right after this, I'm gonna go ice's calf or ankle, whatever I hurt. So I'm gonna go make sure I put some ice on it. Make sure that ice is gonna stop from all the swelling. Kind of gives a quick relief and helps with the swelling. The third one, C, is compression. Put some compression on there. Make sure that the ice is wrapped and put a little compression around it. Wrap that thing up. Make sure it has that compression in it. Kind of make sure that blood flow is kind of slowed a little bit and make sure it repairs that injured area. And the last one, E, is for elevation. When you are at home and when you do get a chance to be able to sit down, make sure you elevate that leg over the heart to make sure the blood flow is staying there. That elevation will also help with the strain, also help with the inflammatories and all the things that starts hurting with the ankle. It'll make it come back faster. Follow this step. R.I.C.E. R for rest, I for ice, C for compression, and E for elevation. Follow these tips. I'll make sure I put some more info down at the bottom for you guys. If you do this right after an injury and take care of it, get off your feet and make sure that everything is taken care of right away, you'll be back in the gym and taking care of all those goals that you said you were right away. So make sure you follow the old Jerry Rice plan, rest, ice, compression, and elevation, and you will be back on your feet moving again. All right, Geronimo signing off.